Here we go. Hello. Welcome to another edition of In Between Pages with James Lott Jr. I'm the James Lott Jr. in that title. And I'm here with somebody you've seen before on the show. And he does a lot of things with me. So I'm not going to give the big introductions. He's somebody, though, who wrote and compiled a book called You Can Overcome Anything, Volume 1, Despite the Barriers in Life. It's on Kindle and paperback. It's a Amazon #1 bestseller in several categories in several countries.
Yes.
I'm part of that book. And
Yes.
you have... if you watch this program, you've seen some of the people in the book on this program. But this is the person who put it together, and it's his brand, Cesar R. Espino. Hi, Cesar.
Hello, James Lott Jr. How are you?
I'm fine. So I'm gonna dig right into it. And because there are people, this is not a new concept. There are folks who are doing the One Habit series and others. People are coming together and taking concepts and getting contributors to do this. But for you, this is something that you put together on your own, and I want to find out what made you decide to do a book like this, a collaborative book like this.
Yeah, so the biggest thing is for me, I had done something like this in somebody else's project, right? So I had done something to this, and I've already had done a couple other books, and I said, what if I can take that same concept, right? That many people are doing it, it's nothing new. And try to get like really people that are from all walks of life with different stories, with different points of views, with different ideas that really is going to resonate with the reader, right? And I said, well, I think one of the biggest things that we can do here is create a series of, you can overcome anything, right? I think that's something that even in life and as we're going through stuff, we want to be able to know that we could do that, right? And you can see it from anywhere from either business or from a relationship or even just things that are going in your life. And even myself, like I'll be listening to, like this morning, I was doing a walk and I was listening to my podcast, which is also You Can Overcome Anything. That's kind of like the framing of that, right? And I needed to hear not only myself and the people that I've interviewed, just that message to help me in my own life right now. Because again, we are all humans. We all go through this, right? And so it's always a good reminder of you are powerful enough to overcome anything you want when you have the right tools or you are being reminded of the things you have to do, right? And so I wanted to create this book series by, hey, let me tap into different people with different backgrounds, with different all of it, and just bring some amazing people into this project, which I believe we have some of the best people in this project for sure.
I agree. And so folks, basically, I always call it the village mentality. He called on his village and said, I need your stories. I need you to share and help, uplift people and share their stories. And so he compiled, was it 15 of us, 13 of us? I can't remember.
It's a total of 16 total with me.
16 total, including himself. He shares a story himself also. And it's very much about each of us telling a specific story on how we overcame something.
Yep.
My story, I'm not going to tell you my stories. I want you to read the book, of course. But mine it's about starting over. So I'll just tell you that's all I'll say that. And that's just a narrative that I've been sharing with everyone out there for years about how you can start over later in life. I was his age when I started over. And I'm not his age anymore, because I'm not his age anymore. But I was his age 11 years ago, and that's how I started. So this book is literally a compilation of people. We've had Carmen Ventrucci on the show, and others. I have books come on the show. So it's like, we're going to talk about each of them and why they did it. But for you, what is one thing that you, from reading about, you read all our stories, right? You read all of our stories.
Yep.
What is one thing that you've learned about overcoming something from reading?
Yeah, I would say, and I'll take it back to kind of like the part of the objective too with the book, right?
Okay.
What I wanted to do is with this project is I wanted to be able to bring the reader with 3 elements, more or less, right? Number one is I want to make sure that they walk away from reading this book motivated to take action, motivated to do something, motivated to just move one step forward. I wanted them to get inspired that truly there are things you can do even on the most difficult times. And then I wanted them to also be empowered by having ideas and tools from each of the authors that they can utilize in their own journey. And so reading pretty much every chapter, I feel like the reader is going to walk away with those 3 fundamental aspects. they're going to definitely get motivated. They're definitely going to get inspired. They're definitely going to get ideas and empowerment as to what they can do in their own journey, you know? And so I feel like that's something that through the chapters, the reader is going to get that. Is going to get that fundamental. And I think that's huge because, again, you know, it's not just about reading any kind of story and that's the end of it. I mean, you know, stories are great. It's like, well, what did I do to overcome that? And now what can I utilize or what did I utilize then that I can continue to utilize now to help me move forward? So think about it from that perspective, right? Not every reader is going to resonate with each one of the authors, yet the message is the same through each one of the chapters.
Yes, there's a through line, as they say, in the book. It's like there's a theme. You can overcome anything. So we tell you anything. We share anything, and that's what it is. And I think you're right. There's something for everybody. I think in the book, right? You could just pick one, and at least one story should hit you on some level, whether you went through it or you know somebody went through it or went through something similar. Everybody is different, obviously, but there's a lot of sameness too. It's like, yeah, I was also 40 years old when my life came crashing. Like, or I was in trouble when I wasn't raising my kids correctly, and all of a sudden changed. So I mean, there's something for everybody that can really resonate. But again, I'm gonna ask you a question again. Was there anything you walked away with going, oh, okay, when you read those stories?
For me, I feel like, I guess more for me, I feel like, wow, like just reading each one of them just gave me at least more ideas, gave me more of that empowerment. It surely motivated me to and inspired me to say, you know what, man, like there's so much that I can still do. There's so much that I can still give, and just kind of looking at some of the stories and how some of the people have gone through their journey. It makes me realize that sometimes we don't have it as tough as we think we did. Because some of the people went through some more difficult times and they were able to overcome that, right? And so, again, for me, it was like I really walked away with a lot more knowledge, more empowerment to do the things that I'm doing in general.
Yeah, I read some of the stories and they were really good. And I know that for me, one of the great things about this book is you don't have to start from back to forward or front to back. You can just pick a story. Like you don't have to go in there and read it from page 1 to, you don't have to do that. You just go, let me see what she's talking about. Let me see what he's talking about, right? You can just go in and pick anywhere to go, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and that's the other beauty about this. And again, I've been in other projects. So in here, you have your table of contents and you can kind of pick and choose based on the title of the chapter. It kind of gives you an idea of what to expect on that, right? And so, again, your chapter is, starting over at 40, right? So like, okay, well, what does that mean? And then you can tap into that if you want to do that. My chapter is change is inevitable for growth. Okay, what does that mean? Maybe I want to tap into that. Or my life obstacles, actually was written by my daughter. My daughter's in this book, which I'm also, very happy for that. And then that can even tap into, just different aspects, the delusion of the mind. So like when you start looking at the titles of the chapters, you can say, you know what? Yeah, let me go to that one chapter first, and then you can kind of jump back and forth. The other thing too that is very unique about this and why I like this kind of projects is that you have writers, authors that are from all ages. Like I think the youngest person we have here is probably 21, 22,
A baby. I love it.
Yeah. And then you have other people that are, more seasoned.
51.
Like
being generous.
Dude, 51, I mean, what can I say?
I'm like old folks, just old folks.
Yeah. So the good thing though is that you have points of views from all kinds of people in terms of their age, which again, you mind that relating more to that person, What's amazing though is that even the people that are the youngest, they still have some very amazing stories to tell you that, as a kid or as a young adult or even early on in your entrepreneurial life, you're like, wow, that's amazing.
It's it's a time capsule. It's like, so, when I was 21, I had nothing to say.
Yeah.
I had nothing to say when 21. I was like, I had nothing to say. But I think at 31 or 40, I did. And I've met younger people who actually do have amazing things to say and share. It is still part of their journey. So again, later when they turn 31, 41, it'd be great to see where they're at also. So it's a good time capsule to see where this person is at and what they've overcome at that age. Because age, actually, you can have some strong things happen at any age, and that can affect you very strongly. Doesn't really matter. And then also for us older folks, I will say it, for us old folks, the old guys, we still have something to say too. Because a lot of times we just in society dismiss the younger folks and the older folks. No, we have things to say too, and we've lived a longer time. We actually have lots of experience to share. So this book is a great thing of covering both of them.
Definitely. And I think that's part of it. Like, you're never too old or you're never too young to leave a message, right? And again, some people at 21, 22, 20, whatever, they don't have anything to say. They really don't have anything to share. And there's some other ones that they do have something to share. Just like on the other side of it, you know, you can be 50, 60, I don't care at what age you are. Yeah, you might have gone through a lot of experiences, yet you haven't learned from any of those experiences. So you cannot really give me tools or ideas on how to overcome any of that because you haven't been through that, right? Or on the other side of it, again, you are 50, 60 and you've gone through a lot of stuff and you've, you know, fall down, got up, did something different. Now you can talk about that experience, right? So it goes on both ways.
Yes, I agree. And I think this is a great time for a book like this to come out because there's a lot of hopelessness feeling out there. And I just did a show last night. I did a show on IG called The Therapist and Life Coach at Miami McKinley. And we talked about that. People feeling hopeless and needing to find sources, whether it's in books or on social media or television, that are positive, uplifting, joyful, hopeful stuff. So this book is a hopeful book. It's like we're gonna share some of the most intimate things in this book. You're gonna see people are gonna share some of their stories that are like, they're very transparent. They tell you how it is. It may be a little, be a little uncomfortable, but they're sharing this with you so that you can feel some hope. That's what I took out from this book.
Yeah. And and talk about that too. One thing that just came to mind is that, even in living in these times right now, with this whole pandemic and, whatever we're going through right now, right? There's a lot of uncertainty and, you just don't know where to turn and what to follow or not follow, whatever the case may be. When you think about a book like this, a project like this, where you have 16 amazing people sharing a story, sharing ideas, giving you their true life story. This is not a made up story, their true life story. And they're sharing this with you. You put a price tag to that. The price of that is minimal to what it can do to your life, specifically on a time like this where you're so uncertain, right? And so for a very minimal investment, like really minimal investment, you're getting 16 different points of views that are kind of directing you on the right path or in the same direction, just from different angles, right? And so thinking about that is like the fact that some people put up these hurdles or walls that they're like, man, to be wealthy in my mind, or to do this or to do that, or to really get some good advice is going to cost me thousands and thousands of dollars. That is not the case, right? You can do that with a very small minimum investment. And again, you get 16 different points of views.
I agree with that. The book is called You Can Overcome Anything Value One Despite the Barriers in Life. Cesar Art Espino. You can see it on, you can go online, Amazon. It's on Kindle and paperback. So go ahead and go there and get it. Run. Don't have to run because you just go online and pick it out.
Exactly.
Put it on your phone, put it on your tablet, put it on your TV. I don't know, put it on anywhere. You can actually and take it and put it in your purse, put it in your backpack. I know we can't really go anywhere these days, but when you're in the backyard, pull it out and read it. When you're in the front yard, read it. When you're in the living room, read it. So it's a great book. I'm not saying it because I'm in it, but I am proud of the book. I can stand by it, and I'm proud of it. And I'm proud of all the writers who shared their stories. And I'm proud of you, Cesar, for putting it together.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And also, I think you're working on a volume 2, possibly?
We're actually already working on volume 2, and it's the same. The series is You Can Overcome Anything. So the subtitle on this volume 2 is When You Exercise the Mind. So we're gonna be tapping into that, talks about that, and again, is more or less the same idea where you have a story and how powerful the mind is to be able to overcome some of the things that you might be going through life, right? And so that is we already have a lot of great people working on that book, and it's pretty much being produced as we speak right now, and it should be ready by the end of the year, if not sooner.
All right. And on a side note, folks, it just came. Amazon and all these mail services are kind of weird right now. There's a lot going on with the mail on Amazon. So I was going to show Cesar because it came yesterday. I'll give it to him.
Yes.
Our book. We have a book series
Look
ourselves.
Yes.
It's called the Follow Our Lead series, and it's on what I put together with him. And it's book 2. It's called What's Like Being an Entrepreneur. We have one, Becoming an Entrepreneur. So those books are on Amazon also. Kid on the way, but this is yours, Cesar. I have it here.
Look at that. Yes.
I'll give it to you.
I love it.
I'll give it to you. It just came. The mail is it's crazy, folks.
Well, and it is. You know, I've ordered last week a lot of books. You know, for the book that just came out. And I was expecting them to be here this week, and I got email saying that they're gonna be here next Friday. I'm like, oh no, man!
I know,
like,
it's crazy.
I need to, and it is. You know, part of it is like, all right, well, you deal with what emerges, and I'll wait for it. I'm excited. We have so many copies coming out. We already have a lot of people that are getting this book. It is a bestseller.
It is.
Not just a bestseller, it's a #1 bestseller internationally. And so again, this is a book that you guys definitely want to get, you know.
And my audience is international. So chances are wherever you are watching this or listening to this, you can go on your Amazon and get it. Wherever it is. It could be in Ireland, England, Canada, India, wherever. Just go on your Amazon, type it in, and it's there. You just go ahead and get it. But we're working on changing, making positive change in the world. Thank you, Cesar. Tell folks where they can actually find you, your business, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the best way to find me, it is very difficult. Just kidding. It's very easy. It's very easy. It's my name. www.cesarespino.com. So CesarRespino.com. Or you can find me at pretty much every social media platform. Or you know what, this is actually pretty good. I'm proud of this. Just go to Google and type my name, Cesar R. Espino, and you're gonna see a bunch of stuff come up, which is pretty awesome.
Congratulations. Okay. Yeah. I'm like, well, I always say you can Google my name, my stuff too, but that's good. I'm like, okay. Well, you know me, folks. Follow me. We're all James Lott Jr.'s are sold at James Lott Jr. and also social media platforms. I know I say that 1,000 times a year. But that's seriously, follow me there. This podcast, In Between the Pages of James Lott Jr., is on every audio streaming service you can think of. So go to where your favorite podcasts are. Find this one. Sometimes they say follow. Sometimes they say subscribe. Either one, just hit them. And you get this interview and many others. Like I said, and some of the authors of the book are on this podcast. So you'll see their names and you'll see them on there. And you can listen to it, and they'll tell you intimately what their chapter and why they wrote it and joined. And of course, the video version is on my online network, which is growing by leaps and bounds, JLJ Media on YouTube. I have over 35 shows, some hosted by me, some hosted by other people, all from insurance to being left-handed to being a young grandfather, which he's on that one. There's a lot of shows out there, so please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and check out. So you like soaps, like Hallmark Channel, whatever you like. I have something for everybody. Star Wars, go ahead and check those out and have a good time. But everyone, please read some books. It's a great escape. It's a great way to gain education and knowledge on your own time. So grab a drink and get this book and sit back and relax. And everyone, please have compassion and take care of yourselves.